what is very, very relevant that throughout every incident that you narrated, the feeling of Mohanji's presence is there. There is no sense of doership. So this is if we all can, if everybody can keep into that to stay connected to the source or stay connected to the consciousness and stay aware, fully conscious, being aware in the mode of acceptance, and then what flows is stability. I think that's for me, Sarah is. Hello, Sarah. Hi, Melissa. Welcome
Hi.
back. Welcome back. Happy to
Thank you.
happy to be with you again in our talk to continue our conversation with Sarah. So thank you so much
Thank you
for
so
the
much,
previous two
Lily.
episodes. Yeah, I think people have got to know a little bit inside of your story, a lot that is not visible from outside, but how can people in different dimension which exists that we are not aware of, our multidimensionality. And when we go into that, when we connect to our inner self, we can actually experience that oneness with the consciousness. And from Sarah's innocent experiences, which is utmost pure and the truth, it is her truth, and that actually shows that we can feel and we can always remain aware of our connection with the consciousness. So it's a beautiful story narration, and that you are talking through your various experiences, not just as a theory but your experiences that you have lived so far. It's a true guideline to all of us, and it inspires and motivates many. So thank you, Sarah, for your time, and thank you, Melissa, for being there and adding up the clarity. So we really, really value that. So let us begin for today. I welcome you back again, and
Thank,
over to you, Sarah and Melissa.
thank you. Thank you so much, Subhashri. You wanna start, sir?
You had a new guidance from Mohanji. I heard, Sarah. Do you want to start with that?
Yes, yes. In in uh, in March of 2016, I was experiencing a wisdom teeth were bothering me for for uh 3 to 4 weeks. My mom told me that and the pain wasn't going away. So my mom told me that I have to take you to the surgeon. We might have to take them all out at the same time, or maybe one, or maybe two, or maybe just three. I said, okay, do anything to free me up from the pain because it was really sore. I could talk, but the pain was really a lot, and it would like go away for a few hours, then come back intensely. So one day after my school, I left a bit early from school. We went to the Silent Hospital to this surgeon. He took a look at me, and he actually did a special type of X-ray to see what's actually going on with my wisdom teeth. He says they're pushing in the wrong way. That's why they're sore, and we have to take them. We have to take them out as quick as possible. He said I will have to book you into the hospital for me to do this operation the next morning. Let me see what they have free. When I heard that, I was like, I was not expecting this. I was just expecting a checkup and to go back home. But then I just said, oh, anything to free me from this pain, and I just accepted it like it is, because I generally have a fear of hospitals. That's why I don't like it. So, but I just accepted it and just went, just just went with it, because I knew that at the end of the day I'll be free from that pain I was feeling. So gradually the next morning came, and then we had to leave the house at around 5 to be there at the by the hospital at 6 o'clock, so they could get me ready, and so the surgeon could choose who he wants to do first, because there was quite a lot of us that needed the same procedure. There was like 4 of us who needed the same procedure, so he had to choose which one to do first. I kindly was chosen first to go first. And then it was quite scary, especially when they had to change my clothes and put me in the hospital clothes. That wasn't quite comfortable, but I I went with it. Then few hours later, maybe 15 minutes after that, they called me to go and wheel down in the operating room. Thankfully, they accepted my suggestion to put the IV in me while I was sleeping from the anesthetic, so I didn't feel it. So I used they have this other method these days, which is called this gas that you just breathe in, and which has the anesthetic already in. So that's what they used, because I don't like IV and poking needles. So so they wheeled me into the operating room. I had to wait like for 5-10 minutes, and then they wheeled me there. They put me on the operating table, and then they gave me the mask, and then I was gone after 2 to 3 to 5 minutes. I was already sleeping, so I don't remember what happened there. But but what I do remember is waking up and asking the nurse, which was next to me. I said to the nurse, "Where is my teeth? Where is my teeth?" She said, "They are here in the bottle. I didn't do anything to them. I will give them to you." And then then she asked me, how am I? I couldn't feel anything because my mouth was still numb from the procedure, operation, or however you want to call it. But I managed to, I was fairly calm, because all the anxiety was like gone by that time, because half of the thing was already done. So yeah, they wheeled me back to the ward, back to the day ward, where my parents and my facilitator were waiting for me. I was still fairly a bit sleepy, because the anesthetic needed time to wear off. Then I had a bit of a reaction to the anesthetic, which wasn't serious. It was just making me feel a bit unwell inside the stomach. But that passed after a few hours. But but what shocked people was everyone after the procedure was in excruciating pain. Everyone who have done the same procedure. Me, I wasn't in much pain, but I was like smiling, going with it. Like I wasn't complaining a lot about pain. And then around 11 or 12, they let me go home. And when I was doing my normal thing at home, my normal everyday thing,
No pain, nothing.
no pain, nothing. Then I only started feeling a bit of pain when I went to sleep. But when the night approached, but it was semi manageable. It didn't take anything for the pain. So that day, I experienced that hospital is not really scary, and I realized that hospital is there for us when we need it. That's why we go there when we need it. If we don't need it, then we don't. It's there for when we need it. So that experience showed me that, and I felt Mohanji holding me the whole time through that experience.
Yeah, I wanted to share. So this was our first experience of when Mohanji physically helped Sarah. So basically, when this was happening very fast, and the next day we had to go for surgery. Sarah has extreme pain of hospitals, fear of hospitals, extreme. Till then, she actually never allowed us even to take her in a meter of radius of a hospital. Totally, because when she was born prematurely, she spent months in ICU, and she was poked and prodded for weeks on end. And I think subconsciously all these experiences stayed. So she was actually petrified, and she doesn't allow anyone to put a needle in her. It would not be possible, really not possible. So the night before the surgery, I actually went to Mohanji's picture, and I was speechless. How is this going to happen when I know I can't even take her to the hospital for a checkup? Forget about surgery or a procedure. And I just went to his picture, and for the first time ever in my life, I actually felt him hold my face. Like I actually felt him hold me. It was a tangible experience like this. And he said, I will look after your child. Clear. You can hear him clearly. And I just surrendered everything. So this was my first experience that I could actually hear him so clearly and feel tangible. And and he took my worry away immediately. I had no worries. The next day, everything just went so smoothly. The surgeon said Sarah will be fourth. He put her first. We were in and out of hospital. Sarah did not complain. She went in like nothing's going on. So this is opposite of her usual way. And people told us that the pain after the surgery for 3 days is excruciating. Adults told us that this was really hard to manage. When they take all 4 out, Sarah felt absolutely no pain. Slight pain in the evening, slight, and she fell asleep. And Sarah is extremely sensitive to pain. If she has a little bite of somebody insect bites her, she performs. The whole neighborhood knows about it. Let me put it that way. So I just want to explain what shift happened when Mohanji was there and helping her and helping all of us, and how everything went smoothly. We actually came home at 10 a.m. We were already home. We were in and out. No pain, no complications. The best surgeon in the city. And we come home and like nothing happened. In the next day, Sarah was back to normal. So this was really profound for us both. He it's not that he was there. He literally took over everything, because for Sarah to not be scared, and even the slightly not scared, it's a miracle.
Amazing. I'm just truly speechless. Miracles have happening every time. So wonderful. And going back, remembering this, how do you, it's just apologies for that. Just going through the experience, those memories. How do you feel now, Sarah?
I feel actually very grateful because I I still have a slight fear of the hospital, but not as bad as it was. And I know that, hospital exists for people to get help, not other way around.
Yeah. And you learned from Mohanji's really, even physically, he can.
Yes, I
you can
learned.
feel that he's
I learned
there.
that even physically he can help me if there is any.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So basically, there is
need.
no boundary, right? The problem is that many people get bound by his physical presence. You got to experience both. You have experienced, how he communicates and helps you beyond physical realm and also in the physical state as well. So which is how it makes it so special. That's
Yeah.
so wonderful. Yeah. Um, So, how do we go now next? Do you want to go to the
Yeah.
next level then?
Yes. So so the next so the next so the next time was when I met Mohanji in Mauritius 2017. We actually we it it were it was for 1 or 2 programs, but basically it was for for him to rest a little bit because he was really busy. So my mom and me and my facilitator, we went to Mauritius for few days,
This was in
and
2018,
2017,
2017. Okay.
and Barbara joined us also in
Mhm.
that to assist also where she could. It was really nice. My mom rented a house for all of us in Mauritius, in a part of Mauritius that was really nice. And basically it was not too much pressure. We were all relaxed because now, because we are all used, when we are with Mohammed, we have to go this side, that side. Pressure is on us. This time it was like really relaxed. I was really happy because in like few days it was my birthday, my 17th birthday, and I got to spend my 17th birthday with him. So I was only thinking about that. And the day before my birthday, the people in Mauritius who knew him were begging my mom to get a satsang with him in a hall. My mom asked him, and she says, and he said, yes, let's do it. Let's make the people happy. And then we did it, but the people were happy, but not. They were still new to this sort of thing, so they were not quite expecting the thing that they experienced, but they gradually got used to it. And the next day was my birthday, so we went for lunch first. One of my mom's friends from Mauritius took us out for lunch to this Southern Indian restaurant. Mohanji wanted to go there the day before, but sadly it was closed. So we had to go there on my birthday, but we got the full experience of that restaurant. The restaurant even baked me a birthday cake without me expecting it. So it was nice. And the day was gradually smooth and nice. And then that evening, when we got back from all the activities, the lady that was cooking for us in the house baked me a birthday cake. So we had 2 birthday cakes that day unexpectedly. So the day was nice. The next day, I had to go back to South Africa with only my facilitator for the first time. I had to travel without my parents. I was quite scared, but I managed just fine because I knew Mohanji is with me. So I managed just fine, and I reached here just fine, but with a bit of complications like anxiety and those kind of things. But it went just fine, so smoothly. My mom and Barbara stayed in Mauritius with him for a couple of days because they wanted to take him sightseeing to some two temples around Mauritius. So they both told me that it was very nice. And then when he left Mauritius, they came back here. So they came back to South Africa together. And then I wasn't really seeing much of Mohanji in 2017. That was the only time, and that was the only time he said, "Stop asking me why. If you ask me why, I won't talk to you." I was really disappointed when I heard that, but I knew he had his reasons for saying that. Mostly on that year, I was focusing on my metaphysical connection because I only met him once in the physical realm of the body. So I was mostly focusing on the metaphysical connection, and it got gradually stronger. And then the next year, I only met him in November. He came here to South Africa. So in the beginning of the year, I was focusing on the on the metaphysical connection quite a lot. And then in that following year, 2018, also something happened that was quite a miracle. Um, I I got a baby sister, and I didn't usually I would like deny that because I didn't want another child to be living in the same house as me like that. But then as I experienced it, it was actually not what I expected. And and my baby sister was born with a heart condition that didn't allow her to live for very long. She only lived for 4 months. But throughout those 4 months, it was quite interesting because as we all knew, she was on severe pain medication, morphine, like 3 times a day or 4 times a day. Without that morphine, the pain would be too much for her. And every time we would hear her crying, like every few minutes, we know she's in pain, but she can't say I'm in pain because she's a baby. So we know she's in pain when she cries. So and my mom was in contact with the Mohanji throughout that time, and he said to my mom that the baby doesn't want me to come close to her, so please ask Sarah to try and talk to her. So every time I would hear her crying constantly, I would I would go to her and then ask her, what's wrong? How can we help you? And she would say, this is too much. I want people to leave me alone, because we were like we were like all the time with her, like all the time trying to make her less pain, but it got too much for her. So we gradually moved ourselves away. And she said to me, I will give you the message if I need extra help with what I'm going through. And I said, okay. I said, okay. I said, okay, this was happening. Of course, a baby can't talk, so this was happening telepathic communication somehow between
Mm.
me and that baby.
So
Did
at
Mohanji
first
ever tell you anything about the baby telepathically?
he did. He said that this baby is not an ordinary baby. It's a saint.
Mm. Wow.
That's why I could hear
Mm.
the, the baby talking back to me. People that were looking after the baby. We had nurses here, day and night nurses, so we could make the situation easier. But of course, the nurses didn't know that they are looking after a saint. They just said, "Oh, this is a baby." And we wouldn't tell them
Yeah.
because a lot of people don't believe in this, so we just leave these sort of things to ourselves. But if we feel that people have the capacity and can understand, that's
Mm.
the time we tell them.
Mm.
And then throughout these 4 months it was quite worrying for me because I just started high school and the pressure of high school was also on me, and the situation in the house wasn't uh, wasn't normal as it was previously.
Mm.
But I slowly adapted to it. It was quite something to adjust to because when she was born, the doctor told us that she got 2 minutes to live, and she lived 4 months.
For months.
So that was quite amazing. And also, they told us in the hospital we can bring her home. She was stable. She was in the hospital for like uh, 4 weeks, 4 weeks, 3 weeks, or 4 weeks.
Mhm.
And then after one day at home, we noticed that something is wrong. So we had to take her back, and to the hospital. They put her on tubes and oxygen
Mm.
because of her weak heart. It wasn't pumping much blood and much oxygen as she needed. So they had to put tubes, and they had to put her on oxygen,
Mm.
and we had to start tube feeding. So it wasn't quite easy. She was in the second time she was in the hospital
Mm.
was like 2 weeks. Two
Mm.
weeks in the hospital. Then the doctors were really horrible to my mom. They said, "How could you do this to yourself? Why couldn't you just kill the child at once?" And then my mom says, "No, my choice is my choice." People, they just want the easy way.
Oh.
Yeah, so but it's okay. My mom eventually got the ox. We rented an oxygen machine so we can bring her home. We learned how to feed her properly.
Mm.
So we were doing all that at home.
Mm.
And when we brought her home, we found out that she likes the home environment more. She liked the home environment more. Yes, she's a baby, but we must remember that a baby also has things they like and don't like.
Feelings. They have feelings.
Yeah. So w- when we brought her home, gradually she was getting used to the home environment. She got used to it in like 2 weeks.
Mm.
And she lived up to from the 18th of January up until the 29th of April. So we all knew that she's not going to live for very long because we found out this at 5 months pregnant. So we were all prepared for this moment. So when it happened, it was like 2 tears and finished. We
Mm.
didn't quite hold it onto ourselves because we knew that we couldn't we can't keep a person. If they make the choice, they make it. It's
Wow.
done. Yeah.
That is a great understanding, awareness that it is not your control, it is the person's choice. It is their choice. When they want to leave, they will leave. So yeah,
Yeah. So that was the whole. That was a whole another level of experience for me, especially on the first year of high school. For this to happen, like first year of high school, this change in personal life, it was like it was a really good experience, and I could see how through this experience, because my mom wasn't too much available to me because she was busy with the baby, I could see how Bondi looks after me every single day. Like, he would make sure that I'm happy. He would make sure that I have everything I need. He would make sure my facilitators are doing what they're supposed to be doing. He would make sure that that at school that I feel comfortable, that nothing is that I don't feel uncomfortable, and I've felt looked after. After the baby left, it took a few weeks to get used to, but gradually we got used to it. As I say, we were not really emotional because we were all prepared for this moment. We were just waiting for it to happen. But it's a miracle that he chose to live for 4 months. It's like that he wanted to prove the doctors wrong.
Yeah.
And this is another proof for me that the doctors are just normal people like us. They don't actually know what
Yeah.
is gonna happen. They just predict. They just have predictions. Yes, most of the time they're correct, but they still are predicting.
Yeah.
So it was quite an incredible experience. Then towards the end of the year, Mohanji came to South Africa for 4 weeks, for a month. We didn't have a retreat, but we had individual 1 day programs. 2 programs in Johannesburg, one 2 programs in Durban, 2 programs in Cape Town. They all went well from what I could see because I was only attending the ones in Johannesburg because I couldn't go to the ones in Durban and Cape Town because of school. I had to stay under school, but I didn't mind it because I was comfortable with high school at that time, and I was grateful to attend the programs that I could have attended.
Yeah.
It was that visit was a bit strange because a lot of things were going on at the same time until people could get organized with what they needed to do. It was a bit it was a bit it was a bit all over the place, but they eventually got organized with what they had to do, and things eventually started flowing with Mohanji's grace, as we say. The 2 programs went quite well. The first program was in some sort of temple that was like a smallish temple, that was like a small satsang, like not small. A lot of people came, but it was like in a small space, the satsang. But a lot of people came, and Mondi was pleased with what he spoke to the people about. But when we got back to the house where he was staying, because he was staying with someone else at that time in Johannesburg, he wasn't staying with us. When we got back to the house, he again told me while we were eating dinner, he again told me, you were the only one out of 3 people that were listening. So I was like, and then he asked me, "Do you want me to perfect something for tomorrow in my talk?" And I said, "No, no, no. What you said, it's perfect." But I said, if if you can, just simplify a little bit so the new people could understand. And then he said, okay, Sarah, I will do that. He's the one who asked me. I was like, I was used to this now because this was not the first time he asked me these questions, but I was like, why does he ask me? Like,
Mhm.
but I knew he has his reasons. The second day, there was another program, but that was not satsang only. That was a full day program with conscious walking, satsang, and a few other processes along with the day. It was
Mhm.
happening at a yoga studio that was really nice. So, really spacious, really nice. And a lot more people came. Even those people that didn't see Mohanji for a long time, they came.
Mm.
So I was really glad to see those people that were coming to this program. And it really went well. And at the end of the day, we were all really tired. Yeah. So we had a full, uh, these programs were happening over the weekend. So we had a full weekend of um, of
Being with
events.
Mohanji. Mm.
By the time the new week started, uh, my mom was his PA at that time
Mm.
for just for South Africa. So by the time the new week started, they were already going to Durban. So on that Monday, I just said goodbye to my mom, and then I got ready to go to school like normal. And then my mom calls me saying that the programs the the program in Johannesburg was wa- was was well organized than here in Durban. And she said Moji is unhappy with these programs. So I was like, I was like, I was like, okay, maybe you can try and adjust something there in Durban. But then things things went uh, things went how they were supposed to be going, and then they were only in Durban for like 3 to 4 days. Then they flew down to Cape Town for the last 2 days, and then those programs passed. Then Mondi asked my mom for her to go with him to Mauritius and Singapore, but she first asked me if I'm okay with that. I said yes, I'm okay with that. She can go. So she went. I stayed here with my dad and another lady that was staying with us at that time. I was really comfortable because I had people in the house that were looking after me, and of course I had my facilitator. So it was really easy for me to manage.
And you
My
always Mohanji with you anyway.
Yeah.
Looking after you.
And
So,
then
so by now you are not dependent on so much on your mother being with you or not, and even if she's going out for programs or traveling with Mohanji, you were comfortable because you were looking up, you were looked after well. Yeah. So you
yeah,
get comfort.
even now, like most of the time my mom travels a lot,
Mm.
conducting programs and all this. I'm now used to it. It's now like a normal thing for me. So I'm really used to it.
You know
So
what, Sarah, I just want to, add one more thing here. As you speak, what is being very clear to people, and in fact, I am myself quite amazed to see your few things, three things actually. One is your awareness. You have so much of awareness of what is happening, why is happening, who is behind it, and how it is all happening. So that awareness is number one. And then second, I see the acceptance, in you, that acceptance, okay, if this is happening, Okay, that's fine. If mom has to go, that's fine. If my sister has to leave, that's fine. The acceptance is the key thing in you that is reflecting as you are narrating. And the third thing that really, really amuses me, that at a very, very young age, you are showing such maturity and such calmness that you have, crossed all this uneasiness. Nothing is so much of comfort, but you are so stable and so calm. That is really a rare, rare thing. And in fact, we need everybody to be like that. So awareness, acceptance, and this maturity, because of, that shows that you are stable. This is amazing. I'm just so overwhelmed with your experiences sharing. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So so that 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 I think we're going to stop there for today, because that's what that's what that's the latest what I have in
Sure.
the what was happening.
Right.
So
Amazing. Amazing. No, as I said, I think that was the really conclusion. You narrated, even when you narrated about your sister, it was not an easy thing for any of you. And also, what is very, very relevant, that throughout every incident that you narrated, the feeling of Mohanji's presence is there. There is no sense of doership. So this is, if we all can, if everybody can keep into that, to stay connected to the source, or stay connected to the consciousness, and stay aware, fully conscious, being aware, in the mode of acceptance, and then what flows is stability. I think that's, for me, Sarah is. So thank you, Sarah. Thank you for your time, and thank you for narrating, in so detail and so clarity. And your memory is amazing. Your memory is really, really amazing. So I congratulate you for everything that you have got, you have brought to us. And we'll be looking forward to speak to you again. Thank you,
yes,
Sarah. Thank you. Jai Mohanji.
thank
Lots of love for you. Lots of love.
thank you.